Guys, what if I told you this tiny PC, it's no bigger than a shoebox. It'll pull some serious performance mining Qubic and RandomX, and it's very power efficient. They stick around because by the end of the video, I will show you the exact hash rates and efficiency that I am getting from this. What are we unboxing, you might ask? That's a good question. You always ask the best questions. So let's look. What is this? Let's zoom in. Down here. This is the BD795M from Minisforum. This is a Ryzen 9 7940X, which is basically a laptop version of a 7950. You may or may not have seen these on other people's channels. Basically, it is a 7950 optimized for laptops. Typically for a laptop, they're optimizing for power usage to make the battery last longer. So, and I already know because I've seen Sadie sometimes videos. These are extremely efficient. They're great at RandomX. I believe Sadie is getting in the 14 to 15 kilohash range for under 70 watts. Insane. So, without further ado, let's pop it open, see what we got in the box.
What's in the box?
Plastic off. What else is on the desk? Well, this takes laptop memory, so it takes SODIMMs. There's DDR5. There are two 16 gig for a total of 32 gigs of RAM. Right now I plan on using these on Qubic, which also mines XMR, but I may use these on Salad as well. When I unbox it, I'll show you. But the only real complaint that some people can have, especially if you're going to use these for AI rigs, they only have one PCIe 16 slot. Actually, only one PCIe slot at all. Get rid of that. I'm sure that was annoying. So for Salad, that doesn't matter because you can only run one GPU. But on Chlor or Octa or Vast, that could be an issue. So here's the back of the box, you can see. But hey, let's not look at the box. Let's look at the real thing. Nice box. Typical phone. You got instructions. Back here you've got your I/O shield, and then it comes with I thought it came with it. It comes with Wi-Fi antenna. Damn, I was going blank. And then two SATA cables. Yeah, it has, I think these are E-key or whatever. It has a slot for a Wi-Fi card. I just assumed that the Wi-Fi card was in here because the antenna is in here. Silly me. We have the motherboard. It's got two beefy heat sinks on the VRMs. Again, this is a laptop CPU, so it's soldered on. You can't replace this, you can't update it if they come out with like a 9950 version, which I believe they are. They have the little mini PCs with the 9945HX already out. One thing to notice, remove plastic film. I believe Blessed Noob left this on, or left the one on his heatsink on his video and had overheating problems. But also, I don't know if you can see in the video, if I can zoom in close enough for you to see, right here on the side, I'm sure that light reflection, there's a piece of tape. So on the other one, when I pulled this off, the tape stayed. So you want to make sure, can you see that piece of tape on the end of my finger? Make sure that you take that off because it's very thin tape. I'm sure if you crank this up and start running, it would melt. Let's see, this one I got to come off with the piece of plastic sheet. I'm gonna leave it on for right now. But we've got two SODIMM slots, A and B, your USB header, you got your CPU power, your 24-pin power, two SATA ports, two M.2s, but like I said, only one PCIe slot. And you've got, an audio connector, you've got a couple of fan headers up here, you've got a pump header and a CPU fan header, another fan header. One thing online, people talking about using these for home servers. One thing they don't like is there's only two USB 3.2 ports and 2 USB 2 ports. So there's not a lot of USB ports. You've got a HDMI and a display port. So if you have a graphics card in here, you can't even put an expansion card to add some more USB ports. So that is one drawback to this. Again, there's your, I think, like I said, that's a Wi-Fi M.2. I think that's an E key. Then you've got 2 M.2s here. That's pretty much it. There's not much to it. It's like $368 on Amazon. Ordered it Wednesday, got it last night, which is Friday. Today is Saturday, August the 9th. So that's pretty much it. That's the Minisforum. Oh, here we go. This is a version 1.1. I also, when I got it out of the box, it's on firmware version 1.0, which will get in the computer or get on the system when we set this up, show you what the firmware looks like, and do a firmware update. And there is a trick to doing the firmware update. You can do it in Windows, but I didn't want to load Windows on this since I'm going to run HiveOS. To actually do it in BIOS, it's not like a typical ASUS or MSI motherboard. There was a little bit of a trick to this. Googling and a post on a home server forum showed me the answer, and I will show it to you so you can have all your answers from one location, the mining cabinet. Thanks. So what else do we have to make this mining beast of a system? Well, we have some Acclimator dual channel premium high performance memory modules, and they it's funny, it doesn't even say it on the box. How do they know what they are? I guess by the part number. Oh no, 32 gigabytes, 216 gigs. So let's open this box and pop those in. I don't want this memory falling out. I like how these are loose and rattle, but they don't pop out. 1, 2. Put this back in here, that way if something's wrong, I can put them back in the original packaging and ship it back to Amazon for replacement or my money back. Amazon better have my money. Alright, let's just get rid of that shit. Y'all not waiting for me to box this up. Let's move this out of the way. Oh, I forgot to turn on my other light. There we go. I don't know if that made any difference for you. Hope you're not looking at the back of my bald head. So, it's laptop memory. If you're not familiar, you just put it in, make sure it goes in the slot all the way, and then just push it down, the little metal retainers will snap, and it's in all the way. So there we go, down and snap, voila. For a cooler, it takes an LGA 1700. It's actually an Intel cooler. I guess they just put this big heat sink on around the CPU and made it fit an Intel cooler. So this is a Thermalright Assassin King 120 SE ARGB. One thing this motherboard does not have is an ARGB port for the lights. But this really wasn't any much difference in price. But if I was going to order again, I wouldn't even bother getting a fan with lights. It is very simple installation of the cooler. And if you're watching this, hopefully you already know how to build PCs, that this is not a PC build video. If you need help building a PC, you can leave a comment below, but this is probably not where you need to start. But in the box, you got brackets. It comes with some thermal paste, which I'll go ahead and use. Actually, I won't use that one. I've already put one of these together. I'll use that. And as I mentioned before, make sure you take this sticker off the bottom. It even has a warning, but you need to take the sticker off the bottom, and that's everything that's in the box.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Well, that's what's in the box. There are instructions that show you how to do this, but what you need is you need this bracket. These are your spring clips that hold the fan on. There's your heart. Oh, there it is. Where's the other one? These two. So there's another spring clip. Like I said, I've got one of these already opened. Okay, so how do you mount this? Read the instructions. These little pieces of tape cover up these pieces of wax paper cover up tape. Which helps this just stick to the back side of the motherboard and not fall off. This bracket is adjustable whether this fan is being used on an AMD or Intel system. This is an AMD, but they're using an Intel fan setup, and what you have to do is you have to pop these out. It has two positions for the bracket. Then take your motherboard, flip it over so there's a bracket to support the CPU, and then this bracket just goes through these holes. Just push it down a little bit. That'll help. It'll help stick to the back and not fall through. I'm going to go ahead and remove this sticker. Now don't forget, I said there's two little pieces of tape that are stuck on the side of this big heat sink. You want to make sure you get them off along with the label. I'm not going to take this off yet just to protect it. So then what you have to do is you have to find it's kind of hard to see. This middle pack with the blue brackets is labeled 1700. This CPU, where's my scissors? The CPU setup is an LGA 700 or 1700 setup. There's my scissors. Put that back in the box. Dump the hardware out, throw that back in the box. So cooler installation is very straightforward. Put the spacers. Some fans or coolers, these spacers snap on, these just sit on, they're very loose. And then I know from last night these face to the inside, which kept throwing me off because again, this is an AMD and I don't have any Intel systems. So I kept trying to put this bracket on like you would for an AMD system, which will not work because this is an AMD system, but it uses an Intel CPU cooler. I'm going to assume that the copper colored part down here is the actual CPU and the silver part is just a big heat sink. You don't have to tighten this down like a gorilla, but you also don't have to have a torque wrench, a torque screwdriver. Just snug so it's not going to vibrate loose. I'm going to put it back up in front of me where it's a little bit easier for me to work on the desk. I'll get my keyboard mat all messed up. So, this is Thermalright TF4 thermal paste. So, you don't need a whole lot. Smear off the excess so it doesn't make a mess. Put a little over here. That's going to squish out a lot, but it's what it is. Okay. Screwdriver. Cooler. Make sure you take this sticker off. So when you get done, you should have two stickers sitting on your desk. Line this up. You know, tighten up the screws, but you want to get them both started. You don't want to just tighten one down and forget about the other. You want to give them equal amounts of love. But I've got them both started, so now I'll go down again. You're not putting lug nuts on a tractor trailer. I don't know if there is a right way or a wrong way to point the fan. Honestly, I don't know, but I know that most motherboards point the fan towards the I/O. The GPU will blow that way, so I'm going to put the fan on this side. And again, it has an ARGB connector, which we won't use in this instance. The board has a CPU fan, and it goes with the rainbow label facing the cooler. The Thermalright logo is what you can see from the outside, so it'll go on like this. We have a cooler mounted. We have our memory mounted. Don't forget to plug in the CPU fan. There is a CPU fan header. Now let me get this connected to a power supply and a monitor, and let's go through the setup. When I first got it up and running, I was getting about a little over 17, kilohash, and it was at 153 watts, which is pretty similar to what I see on 7950X systems I have, although that would actually be fairly good because most of them out of the box, if you don't do any BIOS tuning, they'll be close to, if not over 200 watts for 18 to 22 kilohash. I'm at 14, you can see 14.4, 14.5 kilohash. I'm at 75 watts, so it's either silicon lottery or I'm just not as good as Sadie. I need to go into the BIOS maybe and tweak some more settings. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, leave a comment below on what you think about this Minisforum BD795M. I'm basically going to create a part 2 that'll actually show you how to update the BIOS and start changing the BIOS settings to get the better efficiency. Like I said, just out of the box, you're going to get 17 or 18 kilohash at about 150 watts. I'm not able to get as efficient as Sadie sometimes, but I was able to get basically 14,000 or 14.3 kilohash at about 75 watts. That's really good. It's a lot better than my 7900Xs and 7950Xs. So stay tuned for that video. And if you've watched this far, you're in for a treat. I'm just a few subs away from 500. Leave a comment below and include the number 500 in it. About a week or two after I actually reach 500 subs, I'm going to go back in this video and randomly pick a winner that included 500 in their comment, and I'm going to do a giveaway. I know right now one of the things that will be available in the giveaway is a Ice River KS0 Ultra. They've actually come back up a little bit with the price increase of Caspa. I may give the person an option from a couple of different prizes to select from. I apologize, but because of the tariffs and shipping and everything else, this is only going to be U.S. only residents. But anyway, thank you for your support. I'm excited to get to 500 subscribers and hopefully 1,000 pretty soon after this. Stay tuned for part 2 with the BIOS update and setting. Happy mining and stay cool and don't melt like this thing.